to talk to you a little bit more about your company.
Okay, cool.
So we spoke about your background, and you had the hip hop bug, and then became a hip hop icon. Then you turned into this technology titan.
Okay.
How did you transition from a hip hop icon to a tech titan? There's a lot of similarities. A lot of going up against the norms.
Yeah.
Right? And being an outcast, but having your team that believes that you can take down the man, let's say.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, please.
So like you said, there's a lot of, hip hop really promotes entrepreneurship.
Right.
The hustling, right? And like coming up or going from zero to where you are
king,
today, right?
Right.
Getting up there, right? So it's hustling, it's hard work. But aside from that, it's rappers or hip hop people, they believe in themselves, like, I'm the best.
Right.
And you need that confidence, especially when you hit all the hard, you're gonna hit a lot of problems, a lot of shit.
As
so
an entrepreneur.
to get over that stuff, you need to have a lot of confidence in yourself. And I think that I gotta give a lot of credit to music, which I think is a type of identity. Like, I identify with hip hop, which means I identify with being the best, or I identify that I want to come up, or I want to rock on everybody. It's very competitive, not only in like breakdancing, battling and dancing, but battling and rapping, or you want to be the best. So when it comes to tech, it was as simple as, I'm an old guy, I'm 1972, so during the first time the internet revolution, there was no internet when I was younger, right?
Right.
So all of a sudden, everybody else is like, the internet's been around since I was born. So when it came out, I was like, holy shit, I was ahead of the game, right? I made some money performing or whatnot, or putting out albums, but I had some friends who were like, hey, I'm a millionaire. Like, what the fuck happened? They're like, oh, I work at Yahoo, or I work at Amazon. I'm like, what is this? Oh, it's the internet. And I was like, fuck it, I need to get in on this. So I jumped on the internet bandwagon, internet bubble, and learned a lot about startup, and burned through my VC money. I raised money at the time, $7 million in the Series A, and I learned a lot raising that money, and I learned a lot burning that money, and no regrets. And
what was the product? What was the first product?
It was the company was called the1.com, and
was that your love, or was that just a project?
Nah, I just want to make money.
Okay,
I just want to make money. Holy shit! It's like, you guys are in the tens of millions, and I'm here in my 1 or 2 million, and I'm like, I need to go up. So I jumped on the internet bandwagon, and I thought I had the greatest idea in the world, which is taking these U.S. websites and translating into Japanese, Korean, Chinese.
Right.
I'll cover the Asian languages, or 3 of the main Asian languages, and I went around offering, internet weather.com, and that's probably the biggest name of the internet companies that actually we signed a initial down payment deal, gave us a little money. We had a little bit of revenue. Okay. But we're young, we're kids. I was 25, 24, with $7 million in my bank
Series
account.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I blew it. I had an office in Newport Beach, like the most expensive address in Orange County. I spent like, all my employees get, free gym, 1-year membership.
All of the perks
parking,
that comes along,
just giving them perks, right? And at the time, people were like, basic coders were asking for like 6 digits, right? And then back then, 6 digits were a lot, like 50 to 60,000 was a good pay, but these guys all wanted 100 grand and above. Right. They wanted like, if I move from here to here, you gotta pay for my move me, and then another 5-10 grand signing bonus, whatnot. It was crazy. That was the internet craze, and learned a lot, burned the money. We didn't like burn it all. We sold it, but we didn't sell it for a good price, and learned a lot. And I went back to my love, which is music, entertainment. Started my own record label. Went back in the skills,
obviously, from there.
Just always from back then till now. A lot of things I learned along the way, I still apply today when I do anything. And like I went back into entertainment. But the internet had disrupted my business, the music business. It fucked it up, in a certain extent, because I'm from the old school, which used to sell CDs and tapes, cassette
out the
tapes.
Trunk.
And you get paid. And, the margins are really good. And once the internet came and music became free, right? Everybody's just pirating it, Napster, Kazaa, and all these P2P things. And I learned more, BitTorrent, all this stuff. I learned more about tech again, and I ran. And then I said, fuck it, I don't want to do this charity stuff, like free music. And I felt like, okay, what now? And I opened a club. I went to go do a club business, which was fun. Did it for a while and learned a lot there too.
Okay.
A lot in the club business. That was crazy.
What's your most valuable lesson that you took from the club business into technology?
Okay, that's a really good question. I'm trying to think. I think I learned that the tech business is shadier than the club business, which is already a pretty shady business.
Yes, it is.
So
malicious code, everything, you get really dirty with it. Yeah.
It's really dirty with club business, and it gets even dirtier with tech business.
Yeah.
And during the stuff I learned is how to, I think, put up barriers of entry, how to attack your competitors when they're attacking you, and I think the biggest thing I took from, I think what I've come up big, and we discussed a little earlier, is branding.
Right.
It's very important. And my core competence is in branding and marketing, and it's not really in tech.
Okay.
You know, I'm a high school dropout. I'm not a programmer, although I am curious, so I do get involved with my engineers, talk to them so I can kind of talk the lingo.
Exactly.
But I don't know shit. Yeah. And
you probably know the most important thing, which is the user experience, what the consumer should see in the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, to a certain extent, that's what I kind of bring to the table for my team or my companies. And so, you know, when I moved from club into tech, which is apps, I did mobile apps. We started off with dating apps, and then Meerkat popped up, live streaming. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, before that, there was already PC live streaming.
Right.
And I knew about YY in China, like they do gifting, girls singing, and that whole thing. I was like, that's lame.
Right.
Twitch, which is cool because I like playing video games. I was like, oh, this is fun. I live streamed. I was like, you know, and plus I used to be a hip hop artist. So I was like, oh, this hip hop artist is like playing games with nerds. I was like, hey, yeah. And then so, you know,
all nerds at heart anyway.
You know, it went up. It went up big. It was fun. And then, but I was like, okay, so I knew about streaming, live streaming, and then now it can be done on mobile, and that's when we said, fuck it, drop everything, we're going there.
Good.
And we hit it big. And we're the biggest live streaming app in Taiwan, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia.
Now let's bring right into present day.
Yeah.
What are you doing there with the company?
Okay, so basically I said there's companies which I think of them as our ancestors, which is web live streaming. Okay. And mobile live streaming, it's not brand new anymore. It's about 3 years now. Okay. And we popped up on the scene. It was hot. We ran a lot of and that's what I take away for now crypto is we started it was live streaming on the mobile app. Right. A lot of people don't know that it's broadcasting to the world. So a lot of people are doing some not shady, just crazy stuff. They would get naked, they would just do stuff and we had 1 million downloads a day on a team of 6 people. We didn't know how to stop. Like we were 24 hours banning people, or banning people. And there's bugs with the banning, and they got to fix that. But people were just like doing crazy shit. We couldn't stop it. The Taiwanese government sent the police to raid me at the office.
This is a crazy story. I've heard these, heard these stories before.
You probably still Google and find it. The police took me in. I went to court. I got crazy. Well, I got a little crazy. So the cops they came to my house. They told me to come downstairs. I wouldn't come. Like, where's my warrant, right?
Yeah.
All right. So they ran back to the court. They got one. They came back, got me, and then I went to the precinct, whatnot. And there's big media fest, and I was like, hey, what am I here for? Oh, it's because of this. The cops were saying stuff like, tell people to get naked or whatnot, so you can get viral organic downloads.
So they wanted to come after you just because of your platform, but there are people doing whatever they wanted to do on your platform, and they didn't come after them. So why didn't they go after the mobile carriers?
They did.
Why didn't they go after the telco? This is
I was like, hey, why don't you go after HTC or Apple?
Exactly.
They're using that. It's like well, I don't want to put it that harshly, but yeah, it's like, okay, I built a gun, someone killed someone with it. Is it my fault? Maybe. But if you
have a gun store.
Yeah, or you build knives and they take a knife to do something bad, is it your fault? Something similar along those lines. I was like, at the court, I was like, go after the mobile carriers, go after HTC, go after iOS. I was pretty pissed. Right. But at the end of the day, these things teach me a lot. So, meaning like when we talk about crypto, and we talk about Mithril and moving into this, a lot of friends were like, that's a scam. ICOs are scams. This business is not legit. Stay away. And I did. I stayed away initially because we were going to IPO. And IPOing is a very fragile thing. It's a very hard to do thing. And
it's a very expensive thing.
And it's very expensive, and you're being scrutinized.
Right.
And so I had to but I felt like I was missing this bandwagon, or I'm missing this timing that blockchain, this ICO, this whole thing's going on. But I think at the same time, it saved Mithril, this project that we're working on, that we didn't do an ICO. So now everybody's regulating with the SEC. I'm just like, oh, that's your problem because I didn't ICO.
So tell me about how you were able to circumvent that whole entire world. How did you incorporate your tokenized platform? Okay. How did you tokenize this asset? What is the true asset?
Okay.
Because the YouTube world, the Facebook world, where our content is true, but they monetize it.
Yeah.
How are you different? Walk me through walk me through the Mithril process, please.
So, like I said, I used to be an artist. I had my own social media. I think it became more and more important that you promote through social media. And I loved Facebook at the time. They gave me a platform. I was on there too, whatever. But on Facebook, I built a good following.
Right.
Every time I did a post, my club would be packed.
Right.
On the weekends.
Well, this is what we used it for, right?
Facebook went IPO. They got hit their quarterly numbers. They turn on the monetization machine, which means monetizing me. And
boost.
It boosts you. Boost your post. Pissed me off. I'm like, fuck you. Hey, I gave him my content, and once in a while I want to promote my stuff, right? And I got all my fans here, and now you put a roadblock on my money. You put a roadblock on me, and that was...
You put a toll.
Yeah, the toll, and I hated it. I was pissed. I was so pissed. And I was like, man, but what's the alternative? There's no alternative. There's a monopoly. There's nothing. And okay, Instagram felt like, hey, the interaction is higher on Instagram, so I started using that. But it sucked, and they weren't the only ones. So Weibo, Sina Weibo in China is like a Twitter of China. I had that going, but all of a sudden you see the engagement drop off, and they did the same thing, put a post, boost it. So I wanted to do something about it a long time ago.
Right.
But I'm not here to do charity. I'm not here to change the world. I just want to build my businesses. So I was doing live streaming and whatnot. But when crypto came, I was like, okay, maybe with blockchain technology, I can go disrupt Facebook. And I loved YouTube. Hate and loved. Currently, I love it, but they do rev share.
Right.
And I believe Facebook talked about it, tried it with a few people. Like a test run in the States, it never got to Asia.
Right.
And so I never saw any of that. And recently they just started with the Twitch in-app, and they're copying Twitch. They're doing some kind of rev share. You can get, for people to, now they see the light, or maybe they wanted to make the money first, but they're seeing that the culture is gravitating to that. So all the people that do content know that my content's worth money.
Right.
Either I live stream, get in-app purchases, in-app gifts, or I do YouTube, share some ad revenue. They can see the content people going toward those platforms, so Facebook's got to catch up.
So why are they going to go after you? Why are they going to go to you?
Okay, so
what are you giving the consumer right now with Mithril? What are you giving them, truly?
So in the beginning, this is super complicated because I'm still figuring it out.
Okay.
To be fair, and so, I don't have the money to give you rev share like today. So let's say I start Instagram, a social platform today. I say, hey, use mine. Well, why? I'm going to pay you. How? Where's the money?
Right.
Where's your ads? You don't have no ad. I don't have advertisers yet. I don't have content. It's a chicken and egg problem.
Right.
And so how do I fix this? Okay. Mithril, create an Ethereum platform, ERC20 token.
Okay.
I did 1 billion tokens, what they call pre-mine. And now I've set aside some for legal, fundraising, research, whatever, or funding, marketing, community development, and then I set aside 35% of it for social mining. I call it social mining. Now, what's social?
35%. Why did you choose that number? I heard 20. I've heard 20. I've heard 25. That sounds.
Like I said, I wrote, when I was writing my white paper, I was like, oh, it's the first time I've ever done homework. It's like, I've never done homework in my life, but I'm so into it. I just finished reading the Bitcoin and Ethereum white papers, and I met Vitalik, and I was inspired, and I said, fuck it. I'm gonna sit from my, actually, I called my MEC, one of my secretaries. I said, hey, buy me a notebook. They bought me a notebook, and I said, all right, let me get to work on it. I bought the notebook just to write with my white paper.
Fantastic.
And I wrote it, I had a couple people go through the grammar a little bit. They try to change something, I leave it. It's easier to understand because I wrote it.
Exactly.
I think so.
Exactly.
Talking to the people, and it resonated, with a lot of my friends, and so basically, this 35%, like.
Are your friends technically savvy?
I got tech friends. I had a club, so I have all kinds of friends.
I'm wondering is it because the success that you have now, you can. It's a great story, and anyone would want to find themselves aligned with you in Mithril, just because you've gone through so many pain points and the lessons that you've learned. You can't teach that. You can't reteach somebody that, right?
Not everybody sees that, right? It's as simple as, are you successful? Yes. They're gonna believe you, right? And it's like VCs. Like when you need them, they don't need you, and they won't give you money.
Right,
and when you don't need them and you're hot,
they're right there.
They're like, hey,
all day long.
Get us money, credit line. How much you need? And that's same with anything.
Where are you right now? Where's the company at right now in the VC world? How are they look? How do you think that the VC world is looking at you right now? You have revenue.
VCs want to back up anything I do right now. It just depends on valuation too, right? And I think I'm easygoing. But at the same time, like I said, I don't need you, then I don't need you.
Right.
And I don't need you guys right now. You have money for me. Well, we shake hands. We're cool. I'll see you around. You know. And unless I think it's strategic, and maybe it's like old boys club. I want the big names, Sequoia, Benchmark, or fucking that. Andre Horitz, like I want some of these big buff guys in my gang or in my group crew. And other than that, if you're a mid-level VC or low-tier VC with no name, it's like, I don't need money right now. And like I said, we raised some funds through Mithril's private sale. And on MEG's front, we've got our VCs that backed us from, and not really day one people, but day one. Our VCs are already in there, and we got new investors, and MEG is well funded. So I'm good with all that.
What should we expect from you and Mithril in the next 6 months?
Oh, so next 6 months, I think you're going to see a lot more partners. We just today launched another social. We didn't launch it. Another team launched a social media app called Yemos. Okay. It's like an anonymous social network, and a play on like Secret or those anonymous networks, Yik Yak or whatever. But a new one.
Okay.
And they're doing Mithril mining, social mining too, and that part is this. Mithril it's like I said, we're still trying to find the like. I was on stage just now. We're talking about Bitcoin. It's like how great is it? Or how big of a masterpiece is it? This guy built it. He disappeared, and this thing runs without a CEO, without a team, without anything. I can't even believe it.
Right.
And I don't expect me to be able to create the same thing. I am trying to use a proof of work, proof of stake, use some of their concepts, some of their ideas to create this thing that can kind of like upturn Facebook, fuck with Facebook, fuck with Instagram.
I see that's your look. You really want to get them for what they got. I understand.
They put a rock on
they put a toll up on you.
Yeah, and on everybody. Anybody that's a content provider knows. Hey, YouTube pays us, and even then, YouTube doesn't pay that well. Someone took a gun and shot up their place, right, or something like that. So, again, with the social media thing, basically, we like I didn't really get into it. With social mining is. You're showing proof of work, you've done some photos, you've done some content,
right.
People want to see it, then you get rewarded, you get to mine more Mithril.
Right.
And there is a vault, we use proof of stake too, is like, hey, you stake, you care about it, you want to put more effort in. So in the next 6 months, you're going to see a more clear picture of social mining and proof of stake, which is like, we're bringing a community together. We're building a community like of people that, I know if I take pictures like I do on Instagram and whatnot, but here I earn a little bit of Mithril.
Right.
And by owning a little bit of Mithril and I stake it, I get more mining power and I could get more and more involved in this community. So yes, everybody's on the ground floor trying to build something. And
are there any barriers to entry with bringing folks on and understanding the technology, or is it being explained to them that you're just being paid for your content? It's almost like, come on our platform, we've got the best Java code in the world. And I don't really need to know about your coders or your code. I just need to know, can you get me to where I need to? Are you finding that folks that are coming on board just want to know they're going to pay, or they're more interested in actually the crypto or blockchain app and what they receive as additional benefits?
I think there's all types in our social networks. One of the big one, I think definitely anybody that's a miner that has done like computer mining for like Ethereum or Bitcoin, get it
Right.
and are on it like day one. And there's this group of them, and I try to keep them happy, but it's hard to because I almost want to say, you know what, this social network's not for you guys. Like,
right.
You know, like you guys are having fun on there, good, just
Right.
have fun, but don't complain too much because we're not catering to you. So recently, our first lit app, it turned into Pi or PP. They're all like, man, that's the worst name change ever, and these new features suck. But the new features actually have higher, you know, we go
Higher
by the
engagement,
numbers.
right?
Higher
Yeah.
engagement, DAUs higher, MAUs higher. All the metrics are going higher. You guys hate it, but maybe it's made for the kids.
Right.
And social networks are not for old people.
Right.
And if it is, it's Twitter. Or we got to move. We got maybe some other social partner that I bring on board will be for you.
A home for you. I
But,
understand. Yeah.
You know, I started it, and you guys just got used to it, and it keeps changing. Well, sorry guys,
Yeah.
it's gonna keep changing, and then it's out of my hands already.
Okay.
Like we just did it as a proof of concept, an MVP, a minimum
Right.
viable product. Check it out. Okay, this will work. Social mining does work.
Right.
Okay, so then we got our second partner, Emos, the anonymous network one. We're talking to D-Card, which is like a social student, you know, social network group. Like we're talking to a lot of people, and like.
Is there anybody that you want to reach out to, or you would like them to reach out to you?
Facebook, Instagram's like, hey motherfucker, time to do social mining, you know. But they're not gonna reach out to me. They just build their own crypto, right?
Right.
Again, one thing that we talk about real world adoption is, man, this is a business. Like, it's dog eat dog. It's rough.
Yeah.
And like when I was writing my white paper, I was like, these guys, only Bitcoin and Ethereum that rough. You tell your competitors what you're gonna do. It's open source. Go ahead, fork my shit, take my shit.
Right.
Man, from my, what was like, I hide my cards. I'm
You
trying
don't
to
want
find out what you're
anyone to know
doing.
exactly.
Like what I'm doing. When I wrote, actually, in my white paper, the roadmap is misleading on purpose. Not misleading, but maybe I didn't reveal everything. Like
Okay.
my white paper is missing a lot of things that we're doing today.
Okay.
And we've pivoted, we have adjusted along the way. There's things that we're going to do now that we don't talk about.
Okay.
And like,
What can you talk about that we should expect in 3 to 6 months?
I think the biggest one right now is Machi X.
Okay.
So Machi X is an exchange,
All right.
and it takes what I learned in app business. It takes what I learned in the blockchain this last year that I've been in it. What I learned, and I bring it back to entertainment.
Okay.
So I want to help out. Start with the musicians. That's the people that are closest to me. I've done movie production, and I am talking to them too, and they're all excited.
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to tokenize their IP. I'm going to tokenize every song. So any song, name any song, I'm going to tokenize it. I got to fractionalize it. So the writers and the composition, well, we split composition into two. One's the guy that wrote the lyrics, and one that wrote the melody. Sometimes it's the same guy.
Right.
Sometimes 4 or 5 people when they collaborate on it. But you guys own the royalties, you own this IP. Like you've heard back in the day, Michael Jackson bought the Beatle rights.
Right.
You don't even know how he bought them. You don't know what channels he went through or whatnot. It's not transparent, it's not easy to find, whatnot. And so what we're going to be doing when we do the Machi Exchange is like, this is where you buy and sell IP rights. So, like I said, nobody buys music anymore, but they're going to be buying music rights.
Right.
So I write a song, I'm done, I tokenize it. You know, I think people, there'll be adjustment of perception too. It's like, oh, these tokens, oh, it's worth how much market cap, right? It's not going to be 10 million, 100 million. It might be, but I don't know any song that initially is going to adopt this new method or this form that's going to be worth 10 million US. Right. I'm guessing anywhere between $5,000 up to 20, 50 grand, 100 grand, and it's tokenized. And by tokenizing it and fractionalizing it, it makes it easier to buy, easier to sell, easier to trade. Like music rights are just like property; it should be bought and sold, but you don't know where to go.
Right.
Even if I was the one that created it, or if I'm a fan.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of synergies and a lot of like additional premium and benefits on top of this tokenization. For instance, if I bought this song, I like this song, right? I go out and tell my friends about it. If I own a piece of it, I'm probably gonna tell more friends.
Right.
Everybody at school, go download it. Or
Right.
I'm not download it. Go listen to it on Spotify, which will, generate more royalties and enhance. Come to me, come to my artists that I'm supporting, and I feel like I'm trying to take this blockchain either mentality or tech and then bring it into something in the real world.
Right.
And I'm not adopting all parts of it, like censorship resistance.
Right.
Just take a piece of it,
Right.
and now I brought it in and I applied it to the real world. And people aren't going to really notice it. They'll just be like, oh, I'm just buying and selling music. Okay. And I think kids, it's about the Howey test or SEC. There's a lot of this like gray area. But when we go into that, I get real like upset or pissed, or I start like, fuck this, fuck that, right? Like music has been abused You know, I've been in
for
business
so long,
for so long. And who makes out on top? The tech guys. And now I'm on both sides, right? But tech guys being like YouTube, Musically, TikTok.
Right.
These motherfuckers are like $1 billion valuation. And it's not because of your stupid platform. It's not because of your code. It's because of how good the music.
Exactly.
The music is,
the music.
There's so much value in music, but right now it's treated like shit and it's locked away. And, okay, so I learned in blockchain I can tokenize the songs so that everybody can own a piece of the right. And the person who writes the lyrics or composes the song, I could sell it. I don't have to wait 10 years from royalties or 50 years from royalties. Maybe I keep the residuals all up front because I need money today.
Right.
I want to buy more music equipment. I need to pay for my studio space. I got to pay for I believe
you're going to offer those services, etc., or how are you going to get into that yourself?
So we're going to tokenize songs, right? So, like I said, like a lyricist, because he's got to work a second job or maybe he doesn't have the money, he can only create 10 songs in his lifetime.
Right.
But because now there's a way to, maybe sell off the rights, get more money in, that he'll be able to, sustain himself.
Right.
He might write 20 songs, 30 songs instead of just 10. I mean, there's a lot of like what if scenarios, but I believe that overall it's a win.
I thought you were going to start providing loans off of the songs that you had. I said, wow, you are going robust and becoming a musical financial institution, really and truly.
I think that not like, that's the thing is like a lot of those other projects I see out there, or people talk about blockchain a lot of times, I'm dude, you guys are talking out of your ass and it's too far away.
Right.
What can really happen today?
Real world applications.
And I said 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months, you will see songs you've heard that are being tokenized that you can actually buy a piece now.
Okay.
Like it's me and my wife's favorite song. It's the anniversary, or like that's my high school, like MC Hammer song. Turn this motherfucker out. It's like, oh, I remember that song. Oh, let me buy a piece of it. Why not? People are collecting art. People collect all types of comic books. Why would baseball cards and whatnot? So aside from a financial return, which is probably the Howey test, that securitizing problem, it's a collectible. Right. It's a souvenir. It's support of your artist. And
where can artists go now when they see this interview? Where can they go now to start to become, as early as possible, to become a part of the platform?
MachiX.com or MachiX.io. Either one URL will work, and they MACHIX.com. Okay. And they could be updated.
That's what I say. Do you have a? Should they put something in a note?
We're going to go with the brand new, like with the famous songs. We're going to go with famous songs because we attract the buyers and sellers to the platform. I mean, this is all strategy, and like I said, we're methodical and we move step by step. So we want to bring everybody to know, hey, there's this platform where I can buy and sell music. Okay. And this is where all the big artist names, all songs are here. There's some movie IPs here, some big movies that have been tokenized.
Nice.
Now you can buy a piece of the right. It was your favorite movie or whatnot, you bought it. Then we could move into like maybe newer projects, smaller projects, and eventually, which this part is the part where more tech will be necessary to automate the process, that you can probably tokenize it yourself and upload it onto the...
Or upload it and let you tokenize it.
Yeah. And there's definitely, there would be sections where you could discover new music or discover new IPs or more things from your favorites. Because, there's directors and there's musicians that, they're hit songs, but you didn't know they had 4, 5, 6 albums later on that were flopped and might have some.
Might have a couple of good ones in there that you can use.
But you'll never hear it,
All right. Well, let's hope that you can change that.
Yeah, I hope so.
I really appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.